Hey, this is Adam with Oklahoma Media Ministry. Easter is coming up, all right, and we have a lot of media guys out there that are looking for tutorials on how to do Easter graphics, Easter eggs, Easter bunnies, all that kind of fun stuff. Well, today we're going to concentrate on the Easter egg, and we're going to create a really simple Easter egg, just like the one you see here, and it's going to take probably 10 minutes or less. So, and once you get going with it, it'll even take you less. I can create an egg if I just do it in like a minute flat. So here we go. We're going to get started. We're going to go to File, New. We're going to go where it says Preset. We're going to click on Photo. You can do any size here, but just for time's sake, I'm going to do Photo, under Size, 5x7 Portrait, and click OK. So first we need to select our color. And I know I want to do a purple pastel colored Easter egg. Let's kind of choose something around in there. So we have our color, and now we're going to go to our Shape Tools, and we are going to select the Ellipse tool. You can press U on your keyboard, and we're going to drag out and press Option and Shift to drag out your egg. Then we're going to press A for our Direct Select tool. You may have to press Shift A. You'll notice that it changes between those. It just really depends on how you have Photoshop set up. And there's actually a toggle right here. You can't really see it. So we're going to drag our Direct Select tool over that toggle. And you'll notice how it selects that and it leaves these other ones alone. We're going to press Shift and the up arrow until we get more of the egg shape that we're looking for. And then we're going to click in the middle of that. And then now we're going to add in some layer effects. And so we'll go to the effects right here in the layers panel, click blending options, and we're going to start off with the gradient overlay. And under the style, we want it to be radial. And we want to choose this black to white one right there, and then click reverse. And now the cool thing with this is you can drag the highlight wherever you want it to be. So let's say we have a light source up here and it's shining down. We want that to be right here on our egg. And so we're going to change that blend mode to overlay. And we're going to probably take the scale up just a tiny bit, just so we can get that gradient to go all the way around. But this highlight area is a little bit too much, so we're going to drop the opacity down probably to about 75%. The next thing is we need more of a shadow on the underside of the egg, so we're going to add an inner shadow. One of the keys here is to turn global light off by unchecking that selection. And now we can move this around kind of how we want it to be in here. But we want the size of it. We want that to have a nice soft edge. So we'll take the size and we will just boost that size way up. Okay. And then we'll kind of drag it a little bit more to get up here where the light's coming in. There's not going to be too much of a shadow right there. Maybe just a tiny bit just from the wraparound and the gradient and stuff. But right now, multiply, that's too much. So we're going to change it. Let's see here what soft light does. No. Overlay. Overlay looks better, but doesn't work for me. So let's go to color. We're just playing around here. Going to multiply. We'll just keep it there and we'll just take it way down. I think that gives us more of the pastel effect we're looking for. And then I think we're good to go there. Let's see here. Let's just add a drop shadow just for fun here. So there's our drop shadow. Let's move it down. The drop shadow is going to be more over here, and we'll click OK. Now we have our egg. The thing that we really need though is a texture. Eggs have texture to them. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a new layer by holding down Option or Alt on the keyboard and clicking the new layer button, create a new layer in the layers panel. And then you'll get this new layer panel that opens up, and we want to change the mode from normal. We want to go to overlay, and we want to fill the overlay with 50% gray by clicking that button right there and click OK. Now nothing happened. Here's why. It's because of this overlay. We can take that to normal. You'll notice that's a gray. Or you can change and play around with your blend modes. I'm going to put it back on overlay, but for this tutorial, we're going to have it. I'm going to put it on normal for now so you can see the effect, and then we'll change it here in a minute. And then once you have that new layer, I'm going to name it texture, just like that. click on it and then go to filter, and we want to go down to noise, add noise. Now there's a couple different options here. You have your amount, which adds the amount of texture you want. You have your uniform, your Gaussian, and you have monochromatic. The way that I like it is I like using the Gaussian and monochromatic, and then I play with the amount just to kind of get a good feel for the egg texture. This is probably going to be very light, so let's just take the texture. Let's just make it 9, call it good, click OK. Now we want to turn this back to overlay. You can play with the blend modes, get something else, a little bit different look if you want to. But you'll notice that this texture, it bleeds out over the shadow. We don't want it on the shadow. We want the shadow to be nice and smooth. So we are going to clip the texture to the shape by pressing down Alt or Option, and then hovering your mouse right in between the two layers and clicking. Now that clips the texture layer to the shape layer, and you'll notice that texture is not there anymore. We'll turn it off and on. So now you have the texture over the egg, but not over the drop shadow right there. So now we want to have some sort of a zigzag or some sort of a pattern on here. You can get really creative as you want to with this. But what I'm going to do is by using the custom shape, I'm going to create a zigzag pattern. You'll notice in here there's tons of different shapes that you can use. For this one, we're just going to use this chevron arrow right here. We're going to drag this out, and we're going to modify it just a little bit. First thing I'm going to modify is the color. I want more of a pastel green. Then we're going to do a Command T for transform, and we're going to rotate it just like and press enter. Now I'm going to use my direct select tool, and I'm going to select these toggle points by pressing shift and selecting, and then I'm going to hold down shift and press the down arrow to get them to the thickness that I want. Then I'm going to click in the middle of it to deselect it. And now I'm going to transform it. I want it to be a little bit thicker than that, just like so. And now I'm going to duplicate that layer by pressing Option or Alt, and you'll notice the cursor changes, and then click and drag, and if you add shift in there, it drags straight over. Okay, now we have our green zigzag in there, our green design. I'm going to flatten these layers by pressing Command E. You got to highlight them first, then press Command E. If you're in CS6, it creates a new shape layer, which I think is amazing. I wish CS5 did that, but it doesn't. I need to upgrade. And so now you'll notice that the zigzag's there, but it goes over the egg, and we want it to fall in line with the egg. And so all we're going to do is we're going to take that shape, that layer, we're going to drag it down in between the texture and the shape layer that we're using, and you'll notice it takes on the gradient. It's lighter here, it gets darker out here, it takes on the texture and everything else. So here you go. This is a basic egg in Photoshop. Hope you enjoyed it, and hope you come back to see us next time.